In studying youth and family studies at NUI Galway, one of the, I suppose, most important aspects of the course is to develop a sound theoretical base for work with youth and family. And I suppose a lot of the research and evidence and experience of practitioners on the ground is that all families and young people, no matter what social backgrounds they find themselves in, will need help from or at some stage in their life. So be it with kind of minor issues or minor problems that they encounter to the more serious issues. So I suppose the course is designed to help students to develop the ability to understand those, to critique those, and then to try and look at responses to those. The person best suited for this type of course could be described in a number of different ways. Primarily, the issue would be that the person would be genuine, given the nature of the I suppose, group that they will eventually work with in the future, be it families and children and young people. It really is important that the person comes across and is genuine in what they mean and what they actually do with this particular group. Another important aspect from the academic side would be that the person will be motivated to actually do their best when it comes to the actual study. A lot of the time students sometimes have maybe a perception that once they get to college that the work is done, whereas what we always try to say to first years is that a lot of the work that has to be done has to become kind of self-directed or self-motivated. I suppose the other part of it would be team working and the ability to work with your peers. It's really, really important as part of the course that students work together in groups and try and look at particular issues and solve particular issues as part of their kind of daily work and involvement in particular modules. So that would be really important as well. The other important factor will be the ability to be reflective and kind of self-reflective about you as a person. So what are your kind of strengths, what are your weaknesses, and what areas do you need to kind of improve on as a person that might work in youth and family work afterwards. So a graduate will come away with a number of skill sets. Some of those would be around the nature of generic skills that would cross over into life in general. So things like critical thinking. A lot of the contact that we would have with service providers in the region and so on would often comment that the one thing that they're looking for with students is that they can actually think outside the box and critically about particular issues. So that's one thing that we would hope that students would be able to develop as part of their skill set. The other thing I suppose would be really important for skills would be the ability to develop an informed choice about what to do afterwards. So be it going into postgrad work or going to work afterwards, the skill around career is a big thing, knowing what to do or where you fit within the overall picture, I suppose, for youth and family work. And I suppose lastly, the skill I suppose that we'd most like to see the graduates having would be around three things. Would be around research, policy and practice, so that graduates would have the necessary research skills to work in youth and family work and make a difference around evidence-based practice, so that what they do they know actually works from a research perspective. From a policy perspective, we would hope that students would have the skill set to critique policy, but also to feed into policy and to be policy actors. And from the theory perspective, the students would, after completing the course, would have a very specific skill set around things like the sociology of family, adolescent development and associated theories. So to anybody considering studying the Youth and Family Studies BA at NUI Galway, there are a number of different pillars within the overall course. So what I mean by pillars are the core areas that you will study. One of the core pillars is the area of sociology. And sociology is the study of society. So what we look at in there is everything kind of from birth to death. So what happens a young person when they're born, and for example socialisation, all the way through to the importance of family in a person's life. Another core area within the overall course or core pillar would be research. So in second and third year of the course, students will study various research skills, and literally by research what I mean is the ability to go and identify a topic of interest to youth and family work and try and collect data and understand the nature of that data in relation to theory. Another pillar of the course would be the professional skills part of youth and family work. So there are a number of modules dedicated to very specific hands-on skills that the potential students as potential practitioners will need for work in the future. And I suppose a fourth pillar of the course is the overall personal development part of the person themselves, the ability to actually think and reflect on who they are and what they want to actually bring to the overall area of youth and family work.